Kianga Kelly has been covering the trial all week from District Court. She joins us now with a recap of Day 3. Floodgates near Alligator Bayou were opened over the weekend, and the Gators seem to be doing just fine for now. But it doesn't stop with identifying the virus. Dr. Durander hopes to fight fat with science by developing a vaccine to fight the virus. Experts say there's an easy way to make sure you're getting the vitamins you need without depending on a pill. Another school rape investigation, the second in less than a month.
There's a new precinct under construction for the Baton Rouge Police Department.
That story tops your NBC 33 crime tracker at 6. Our David Dacan is tracking this story tonight. He's live in the newsroom. And David, where's the new location? Spring is here, and that means many of you are running to the doctor for allergy shots. Now you can get the same type of treatment without the pain of a needle stick. A state judge could rule tomorrow whether to acquit Devin Collins of attempted murder. The defense made the request today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Valentina Wilson. Stone has the night off. The prosecution rested its case against the man accused of firing shots at a 4th of July celebration. 10 at 10's Kianga Kelly has our top story tonight.
For NBC 33 News, I'm Kianga Kelly.
If the judge denies the defense's request for an acquittal, the defense is prepared to present its case tomorrow morning. Meantime, nearly a year after a Baton Rouge man was shot to death, the man suspected of killing him is behind bars. Fugitive Task Force agents arrested 22-year-old Christopher Taylor at an apartment on Boulevard de Province. A Crime Stoppers tip led authorities to Taylor. He's accused of shooting and killing LeBaron Napoleon last June, then dumping his body on Madison Avenue. Taylor is charged with second-degree murder and illegal use of a dangerous weapon. The Baton Rouge police officer injured in a head-on collision is still recovering tonight. Police say Officer Charles Polar Jr. was driving westbound on I-10 near Dalrymple around 2 this morning when a car passed him going the wrong way. Polar turned around to chase that car, but ended up hitting a Jeep head-on. His injuries are not life-threatening. The driver of the Jeep, 18-year-old Kevin Levy Jr., had moderate injuries.
Oftentimes officers are so focused on trying to protect the public and trying to stop someone who is endangering the public that those things happen. And that's why we have internal investigations and reviews anytime our officers are involved in any sort of accident that causes injuries or may involve questions of policy.
Police are still looking for the original vehicle that was driving the wrong way on the interstate. So far, they haven't given out any citations. An East Feliciana Sheriff's deputy injured in a wreck last Friday has died. 37-year-old Deputy Richard Stiles Jr. was struck head-on while driving his patrol car south of Clinton. State police say a pickup truck veered into Stiles' lane while trying to avoid another truck. 57-year-old Marcus Blakes died in the crash.
This is Storm Tracker 33 weather with Chief Meteorologist Brett Cummins.
Val?
Rescuers have recovered the body of a Mississippi man who fell off a bridge yesterday south of Shreveport. The man is identified as 22-year-old Adam Simpson. Crews searched Bayou Pierre, which runs between DeSoto and Red River parishes, for more than 12 hours. Authorities say Simpson and 3 co-workers were on the bridge when he slipped and fell in. Governor Jindal's proposed budget tops your 10 at 10 project pocketbook tonight. Despite those desperate times, many are looking for innovative solutions. The recent state budget crisis has Governor Bobby Jindal thinking outside the box to reduce spending. We get the details tonight from NBC 33's John Fairbanks.
I'm John Fairbanks.
John, thanks. Also in the governor's budget proposal, L.A. Swift could shut down in just a few months if state lawmakers don't intervene. If Jindal's budget passes, the New Orleans-Baton Rouge connection would come to an end on July 1st. The bus service began after Hurricane Katrina. Also in the governor's proposed budget, layoffs for the Department of Transportation and Development. If lawmakers agree, 132 jobs would be cut at the agency. That would amount to a 16% reduction in staff at the DOTD in just the past decade. Again, the regular session begins April 27th. A groundbreaking for a new medical center in Livingston Parish means more jobs down the road. The North Oaks Livingston Parish Medical Complex will be 2 stories tall and 47,000 square feet. Officials say the outpatient complex will offer a wide range of diagnostic and treatment services. The medical complex should be completed by fall 2010 and will employ around 100 people. It appears parents and teenagers are fighting over more than just cell phones these days. They're fighting for the same summer jobs. At SeaWorld, adult applicants spurred by the economy have turned to positions normally reserved for teens. Across the country, grown-ups are showing up at job fairs meant for kids.
I've been working here the last 2 summers, and now they're telling me not everything's available. It's kind of different. It's weird.
Okay, folks, well, the national teen unemployment rate is at a 17-year record high of 21%. Louisiana leaders are hustling to get enough shelter space ready in time for hurricane season. State officials want to have room for at least 50,000 evacuees, but right now they're a few thousand short. The state only has room for 11,000. The Red Cross has pledged another 30,000 spaces.
We're also actively in negotiations with our out-of-state partners to secure the slots that are needed to get us up to that 50,000 mark.
The state of Florida has room for 1 million storm evacuees. The Louisiana Department of Social Services plans to use that as a bargaining point during the upcoming session. A New Orleans-based activist group is blasting an investigation into an alleged cover-up following Hurricane Katrina. The Committee on Professional Conduct cleared the Army Corps of Engineers and American Society of Civil Engineers of any wrongdoing following the 2005 storm. The committee is run by the Civil Engineers Society. The group, levees.org, is upset about the findings and says it's even more evidence of corruption. If you pass by the State Department of Transportation and Development, you'll see hundreds of orange cones. As Emily Turner reports, it's meant to drive home the point that safe driving saves lives in work zones.
For NBC 33's 10 at 10, I'm Emily Turner.
The DOTD says spring is the beginning of the construction peak, so drivers will see even more work zones popping up. A state lawmaker is stepping it up when it comes to spreading the word about childhood obesity and autism. Representative Patrick Williams is walking 226 miles from Shreveport to Baton Rouge. Williams is walking his bill to the upcoming legislative session. He says he wants Louisiana to lead the charge in combating autism. With a steady stride, he hopes to make it to the state capitol by April 22nd. And here's something you don't see every day. In Caddo Parish near Shreveport, a boar is up for bid. The 700-pound boar can be yours for the right price. Deputies found the massive mammal chasing horses at a nearby farm. The sheriff's office plans to sell the boar unless the owner claims it first. And still to come on 10 at 10, help arrives after a U.S. ship is taken over by Somalian pirates. More on this developing story just ahead. Plus, we're learning more about the bizarre murder-suicide at a Florida gun range. Audio tapes leave behind clues as to why a mom shot and killed her son, then herself. Finally, after hours of work, they brought him to shore. Crews believe the moose will survive after drying out and warming up a bit. And that's a glimpse of headlines around America tonight. It could be a soggy Sunday for the Easter Bunny, Brett. What do you have for us in your Storm Tracker 33 update?
Yeah, that's exactly what I have, Val. Not happy to report that, unfortunately, but we have a nice evening on tap.
Researchers suggest employers adopt fitness incentives for their staff and offer breaks from the type of work that keeps people tied to their desk. We're pretty much tied to ours.
Well, I think it's more that we work right behind a fast food restaurant.
That's part of it, too.
Yeah.
Well, in sports, a historic matchup tonight for LSU Tigers baseball against another Tigers team.
Well, they haven't played ever in baseball. It's amazing. Grambling and LSU, despite both being in the same state, playing baseball for this long. This is the first time they've ever played, so yeah.
We deal with the cards we're dealt.
Slight chance of rain for Good Friday, too.
Yeah, about a 30% coverage. The worst should be north of us, though, so most of us will stay dry.
Great. Well, enjoy the night. We'll be back tomorrow. Good night.